Hello and welcome to the second episode of Dead Flesh Retro Plays Fish by Magnetic Scrolls. My name is Chris, aka Dead Flesh Retro.
And I'm Lee, aka Lee.
In this episode, we continue our adventures in a wet and miserable forest and try to figure out what the hell is going on. And it appears that Micky Blowtorch is doing the same.
We'll do a quick recap at the beginning of each episode, but if you really want to catch up, then listen to last week's podcast where we started this whole shenanigans.
In the meantime, if you enjoy what we're doing, then please drop us a comment on whichever platform you're consuming this piece of media on.
Let's get to the action.
Episode 2. Let's just hit it with a hammer. Okay, I think we're live. Is everybody here? Can everybody check in and say hello?
Hello, hello.
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 Awesome. We're joined by Woody this week, who's over from Canada. Depending on how it goes, we might be joined by Woody again from Canada. Depending on time zone and whether that's convenient. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the map. The area that we've looked at first is through the small warp, and that takes us to a forest, and it's laid out in a grid, a 3x3 grid. We arrive in the top left of the grid, which is a clearing with a stump, and then going left to right across the top are clearing, dim forest and cool glade. And then next row down, dank forest, wet forest, and gloomy forest. And then the bottom row is charred glade, where there's a mine shaft leading down, dark forest, and then outside the smithy. And the smithy is further to the east. So just for those that are listening on the podcast version, to give you a bit of orientation. Right, so who's got suggestions then?
Bring the bird. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say we've had an entire week of thinking about
I know, yeah, I figure that. Maybe, how do we take it in turns? I think Lucas was first to say something.
I was going to say bring the exploding bird to the like closed-in cave entrance we found.
Okay, you mean the mine shaft? It wasn't closed. I think it was just dark down there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I remembered it being blocked by something.
No.
Never mind, ignore me.
It was just blocked by darkness.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we have been thinking about is that the mold, I believe, is in the bird cage. So we need to open the cage to get the mold out before the bird explodes.
Yeah.
I think freeing the bird to see where the bird goes seems like a reasonably good idea anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Although obviously we don't know where.
No. The mold before a key.
Yeah, the mold, something that we need to make out of metal. You'd imagine that we get metal ore from the mine, but that seems like a reasonable supposition, doesn't it? I think we should look at the stump a bit more as well. I don't think we've spent enough time checking it out.
Yeah, so another theory I had was so it made a specific point about the stump being able to hold water, and some of the places in the forest are very wet, and so I was thinking, oh, can we collect rainwater in the crucible and pour it into the stump or something, or don't know.
Yeah, I wondered about that as well. Like, it's the kind of thing where if it's full of water, something might float to the top and you'd be able to get it, possibly. But I think we should go and look at things. I think, first of all, does anybody have any other suggestions?
I also think that if we smelt something in the mold, we're going to need to cool it. So that also might need water.
Oh, very good point, yeah. Mike says on the chat, no idea if this helps anyway, but I wonder if the mold is made of cuttlefish, which is why it's in the cage with the parrot. Oh, yeah, because they put cuttlefish in parrot cages, don't they, for them to sharpen their or file their beaks on, I think. Should we just go through the warp?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Let's go find a bird.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we're in the clearing. And it does say, the clouds overhead show that it could start again any minute, the rain. If they decide to burst, the tree stump in the centre of the clearing would probably fill up with water. So let's just examine the stump. The tree stump is all that remains of an oak tree blown down in a huge gale sometime in late 1987. So we did this before. But we didn't look inside it. Look in stump. Peering from the hollow in the stump is your old friend Micky Blowtorch, who is clearly in need of urgent psychiatric help. Right at the bottom of the stump, you spy a gold disc. Okay, so Micky Blowtorch is in the stump, and there's a gold disc at the bottom of it. Should we try getting in as well?
Take it.
What if we just go down? We can't go down. Go stump. Get off, shouts Micky. Ungrammatical, perhaps, but you respect Micky's abilities to enforce his request. You do indeed get off. Okay, so we can't go stump while Micky's in it.
Can Micky pass us the gold disc?
Wow, okay. I'm not sure how to instruct a non-player character to do something. Ask Micky get disc. Might that work? Micky Blowtorch says definitely not.
I think we need to give to Micky a bird.
Or hit him with a hammer. Okay. Well, also, we know that Micky goes on a wander, right? Ask Micky for gold. Maybe that. Ask Micky for gold. But I don't have any gold. Yeah.
So we're going to run out of time to get.
Yes, we are. Let's go southeast, shall we? Wet forest, outside smithy. Okay. We're in the smithy. There's a cupboard and a bird cage sits on the floor here. Let's look at the cage. The bird cage is made of cane or something very similar. It is closed. It contains a parrot and a mould. Should we just open the cage and see what happens? Open cage. Oh, whoa. Lots of text. The parrot squawks nervously as you open the cage. He stays firmly inside. Bang! An explosion triggers a reflex action. Faster than a speeding bullet. You cover your head and dive for the ground. We ran out of time. So we're back in the castle. So what have we learned? We've learned that there's something inside the stump and that Micky is protecting it. And we've learned that if we open the cage, the bird stays inside the cage.
Do we have to go straight to the bird then? Quick.
Yeah, I think so. Let's walk back. Okay, we're in clearing. Southeast, southeast, east. We're in smithy. If we look at the cage, it'll just tell us the general description. Let's look at the parrot. The parrot clearly doesn't like being cooped up. And let's look at the mould. The mould is the sort that can be broken open after the molten metal you've poured into it has cooled. So that confirms that idea.
And I guess we've got some gold potentially.
A gold disc, yeah, to melt into it. Although, I wonder what the mine's for. So the question now is, how do we get a parrot out of a cage? I'm going to open the cage again, or I'm going to try getting the cage. Get cage.
Yeah, I think you can probably open the cage, because you said the bird stayed in the cage, so you can probably open the cage to get the mold.
Okay, yeah, open cage. The parrot squawks nervously as you open the cage. He stays firmly inside. Get mold. The parrot cocks his head and pecks you viciously as soon as your hand enters the cage. You quickly withdraw. So we've got a disc protected by Micky and a mould protected by a parrot. Get parrot, suggests Mike. That's a good idea. We get the same response. The parrot cocks his head and pecks you viciously as soon as your hand enters the cage. So that isn't going to work either. So we need to coax the parrot out of the cage, I guess. But we can move it.
Can we use the feathers?
We don't. The feathers are on the parrot.
Oh, yeah, because he exploded.
Svanti's is coming up with all sorts of ideas that involve the parrot and the hammer.
Yes. Well, we could hit the parrot with the hammer.
Yeah. The cage.
Yeah, I think she started off hitting the cage with the hammer.
Okay.
Before hitting the parrot with the hammer.
Well,
and Mickey. Yeah.
We could see if we've got time. No, we don't. There we go. That's it. We should have been counting. We've run out of time again. So.
Chris.
Yeah.
If we can't get the disc and we can't get the mold, can we get Mickey to get the mold and the parrot to get the disc?
Yeah, I like your thinking. Maybe we need to introduce them to each other and see what happens. I mean, we can't pick Mickey up, but we can pick the parrot up, right? Or the cage, at least.
Yeah.
So,
bring the parrot to Mickey.
Yeah.
Let's see if we've got time to do that.
And then just tell him that you're going for a quick walk.
Yeah. Okay, I've gone to the smithy. I've got the cage. I'm now going back northwest again, through wet forest to the clearing. Shall I look in the stump and see if Mickey's still there?
Yeah, go for it.
Yep, he is. Give cage to Mickey.
I just thought, I know that's probably not its primary use, but there are some gloves in the cupboard which might protect us from pecking.
Oh, that's a good shout. Yep. Give cage to Mickey. He thanks you.
It's going to explode Mickey.
Look at that. So I then did an inventory and it says you're carrying nothing. I just to check whether I still had the cage or whether Mickey had taken it. And then bang, an explosion triggers a reflex action. And we're back in the castle.
So you just need to not be there.
So I think we just need to not. We have one turn. I think if we go through that whole sequence again, we'll have one turn to go somewhere safe. And then the parrot will blow Mickey up, but it's also going to destroy our mold, isn't it?
No, the mold might be made of tougher stuff.
Well, it wasn't when the parrot exploded in the smithy before and there was feathers there. There was no mold, was there?
Well, let's try it and see.
Yeah. Oop. Swim, smooth, warp. Okay. Southeast, southeast, east, get cage, west, northwest, northwest. Give cage to Mickey. He thanks you. Where shall I stand? I'm just going to go south. Dank forest, south. Charred glade. Bang, something explodes in the distance. But as they say, out of sight, out of mind. So it's probably better not to worry about it. Okay. So let's go north again. North to dank forest, north to clearing. Some feathers are strewn about, almost enough to make a duvet. Let's look in stump. Right at the bottom of the stump, you spy a gold disc. Go stump. You are now sitting on the tree stump. Can I go down? No. You get off.
Get disc.
Get disc. Oh, you now have the gold disc. Okay, it's easy. Let's examine the disc. The gold disc was awarded to the Seven Deadly Finns for their semi-mystical album Batting Averages from the Test Match of Oblivion. It has a slight bulge in the middle. So the Seven Deadly Finns are a band.
Did we lose the mold?
Yeah, we did.
Do you think we need to get the parrot out with the gloves and take the parrot to the stump so that we still have the mold and the disc?
Well, we have 2 turns, don't we? Let's just see how many turns we've got. So it's southeast, southeast, east, get cage, west, northwest, northwest, give cage to Mickey, south, south. 10. We have 10 turns. So
So open cupboard, get gloves, wear gloves.
Yeah.
get mold. That's too many, isn't it?
There's too many.
Killing Mickey doesn't seem to have done much there. Like, there's no mention of his corpse in the stump.
No, I mean, Mickey has evaporated. There's nothing left. But also, I'm sure Mickey, like, walks about, doesn't he? Like, we've seen Mickey kind of arrive and leave again, but I've never obviously thought to go back to the stump and get the disc when he's vacated that area. So maybe that is what we do. Maybe we don't need to kill Mickey with the bird at all.
Is there any way we can then get the disc without and Mickey not being there?
Yeah. We know that Mickey leaves.
We lost our time limit as well now because Mickey's the one that killed. I presume something else will kill us.
Oh, that's very true. How do we get back? How do we even reset the... Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to see how many turns it takes us to go into the cupboard. Open cupboard. Get all from cupboard. Tongs, crucible, hammer, gloves. Our score's gone up to 20.
Well, hey!
Maybe from collecting everything.
Yeah, Mike says, is Mickey not just the timer mechanism if we are not next to the bird? Well, yeah. But now there's no bird and no Mickey, so there's no timer mechanism left. I wonder if we need to just go around all of the locations and just read the location descriptions again. Carefully, given what we now know. Maybe that will prompt something. I'm going to start in the top left. We never had the cage open when it was outside, Mike. No, we didn't open the cage when it was outside. So maybe, yeah, maybe there is a location that the parrot would go into.
Yeah,
maybe if it was soaking wet.
Or yeah, something.
Just going across, let's start with dim forest. The dense foliage blocks out nearly all the daylight here with just a few patches peeking through. So this is dim forest. The next one is cool glade. Drizzle is falling here to be followed by sunny spells and a few showers in the northern regions later in the day. The outlook for tomorrow is anybody's guess, but if you like to leave this place, you can go southwest or southeast. It's okay.
The only other sort of thing that I'm thinking is to go and open the cage next to the mine, because we know that we haven't got a way to get into the mine because it's dark. And I don't think we've seen anything yet that can help us.
No.
So maybe if we open the cage next to the mine, the parrot might fly into the mine.
Maybe, yeah, we can try that. Or we could take the...
No,
if there's a way of getting the mold out, we could...
If the parrot is out of the cage,
yeah,
then the mold will be... We can take the mold.
Sure, yeah, I know. That's if the parrot decides to fly out of the cage. But let's just see these descriptions before we try it. So gloomy forest, the constant rainfall here is incredibly depressing. So depressing, in fact, that if you weren't an alert interdimensional espionage operative with other things to think about, you'd get pretty miserable. So gloomy forest is depressing. Wet forest. Why is it raining much harder in this bit of the forest than anywhere else? So wet forest, it's raining a lot more. Dank forest, horribly cold and damp. Charred glade, trees have been damaged by fire. Dark forest, you're in the middle of a dark forest. So there's dark forest and dim forest that are both dark. And then we're outside Smithy. Yeah. Okay. So I agree. These are good suggestions. We should try them. How are we going to finish the game? I don't understand how to get back to the castle and reset the time loop. I've tried help, but it says useful hints are available in the packaging, and die. It doesn't understand die. We could restore, of course. Does anybody have a suggestion?
Just keep going and see if anything happens.
What else are we carrying?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we picked up the things from the smithy. So tongs, a crucible, a gold disc, a hammer, and some asbestos gloves. We're wearing some jeans and a herringbone overcoat. There's nothing in the jeans and overcoat. We looked at that before. There's also a fire, I think. The fire is burning fiercely in the forge.
I guess you could try things like placing the crucible on the fire and taking it out with the tongs and all those sorts of things.
Yeah, and just to see if they work. So I've tried Go Fire to see if that just kills us and restarts us. It says, realizing that the rest of life wouldn't be too comfortable with your cheeks welded together, you refrain from sitting on the fire. So it's preventing us from killing ourselves. Mike suggests run around a bit. I don't think we've got anything that's going to kill us now. Now that Micky and the parrot are gone, I think we might just have to reload. But yeah, we can try wearing the gloves, which works. We can try hold crucible with tongs. You are now holding the crucible with the tongs. Place crucible in fire. The crucible falls into the heart of the flames and disappears from sight. The fire is obviously deeper than you thought. Okay, that's probably a useful piece of information. So if you place the crucible in the fire, it falls into the heart of the flames and disappears. Can we get it again? Get crucible with tongs. You can't see a crucible here. Okay, we need to figure out another way. Maybe we need to hold the crucible over the fire with the tongs. Okay, I think I'm going to reload. What do people think?
Yeah.
Okay. Restore game. Now then. Okay, so this time we're going to grab the cage and try opening it in different locations, yeah? Okay, we're at clearing. Southeast, southeast, east. Get cage. I'm going to go west. You want to try immediately outside? Just in case it works anywhere? Or do you...
Why not?
Yeah? So if I say open cage outside the smithy, the parrot squawks nervously as you open the cage. He stays firmly inside.
I wonder if you can walk around with the cage
Yeah.
open.
Let's go west then to dark forest. West to charged glade.
Go into the mine?
It's the same message again. We could drop the cage and walk away.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to die.
Oh, that was it. That was our 10th move. So we just got caught in the explosion. Okay, let's try it again. Southeast, southeast, east, get cage. Open cage. I'm just going to walk around and see if it comes out. Gloomy forest, cool glade, dim forest, wet forest, and we explode again.
Maybe try the gloves to get the parrot out.
Yeah, okay.
I guess the other thing we could try is throwing the cage.
Throwing it?
Yeah.
Down the mine shaft? Okay. Open cage. Okay, I've now got the gloves on and I'm going to open, and I've got the cage open. So I'm going to try and get the mold, yeah? Get mold. No, it's the same message. Parrot cocks his head and pecks you viciously as soon as your hand enters the cage.
Can you get the mold with the tongs or get the parrot with the tongs or...
Okay. We ran out of time again. Okay, I'm getting everything out of the cupboard this time. I wonder if each of those counts as a turn.
Could place the cage on the fire.
Okay, I've opened the cage. I'm going to get the mold with the tongs. The parrot attacks the tongs, which you quickly withdraw. Put cage on fire. The bird cage burns away. The contents of the bird cage fall out and are consumed in the inferno. So we lose the mold as well as the bird if we do that. Let's just go back to the clearing and look in the stump. Micky Blowtorch is still in the stump. Do you know, I wonder, when we played it before and Micky Blowtorch was wandering around, not when he was killing us, but before then, when he kind of appeared and then disappeared, and when he came into the smithy and we tried to hit him with a hammer and he left before we could. And so he was walking around. I wonder if that was because of the bang. That it's the parrot exploding that gets him to go and investigate and leave the stump.
He was looking nervous.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think that the time that he comes and kills us, I think he is under control of another agent.
Yeah. Of one of the 7 deadly fins, maybe. Our arch enemy and rock band.
So we can't actually have the parrot alive and Mickey out of the stump.
Might see, yeah, it seems that way. This is tricky. I think maybe we should try taking the parrot to the place where it really rains a lot and just dropping the cage there.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to restore the game.
Why the rainy place? What are you thinking?
Well, I just don't think parrots like being wet.
Well, and maybe it will stop him from blowing up. Oh no, but we want him to blow up, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in wet forest. I'm going to drop the cage. And I'm just going to go somewhere else. I'm going to go west. Go south. I'm going to east. I'm going to go north again. Oh my goodness. I've just done a little circle. I'm back at wet forest. It says there's a bird cage here. Bang, something explodes in the distance. But as they say, out of sight, out of mind. So it's better not to worry about it.
Yay!
I think the parrot just got wet and decided to go and find somewhere dry.
Was the cage open?
Yeah, the cage was open.
Oh.
It contains a mold. Get mold.
And Mike said something good on the chat. He said that it might be because we were still there that he didn't want to come out of the cage.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a fair point. Yeah, maybe that would have worked anywhere. Maybe we just need to drop it and go away and come back.
But now presumably Mickey's out of the stump and investigating the noise.
Maybe, yeah. Let's go and check that out.
Yeah.
So let's go northwest to the clearing. So, clearing. Micky Blowtorch is here. Mickey snatches the mold from you. You shouldn't have this, he tells you. Not unless you've been interfering with that parrot. Mickey trudges off towards the wet forest.
Ah.
My goodness.
But can we get the gold while he's not in the stump now?
Yeah, I think we probably need to restart this though, don't we? We can get the disc. Yeah, the disc is still there. Goodness me. Maybe we need to wait longer?
We drop the cage and then he starts walking towards where the cage, or no, where the parrot blew up. So I guess we just have to avoid him.
Yeah, but we don't know where the parrot blew up actually, do we?
I guess we could wait and see where Mickey goes.
Yeah.
Do you think, Lucas, that we should try different routes back to the stump?
Well, that's a good
Maybe.
question. I think maybe we need to find out where the parrot went, which we can, right? Because there'll be a location that has feathers in it. And if Mickey goes towards where the bang was, that will be the direction that Mickey would go. Presuming that the parrot always ends up, once it comes out of the cage, it always goes to somewhere that maybe isn't wet. I don't know. But we could certainly see if we can find the feathers anywhere.
Yeah, I think we need to search around.
So dim forest, no. Cool glade, no. Gloomy forest, no. Wet forest, no, obviously. Dank forest, no. Charred glade. It went to charred glade.
So, any change to the mind?
No. Same. Okay, well, we could try the theory that we can just drop the cage anywhere, not necessarily wet forest, and see if the same thing happens. See if it doesn't matter which location you drop it.
Can we drop it where Mickey is, but not obviously into the stump? And then if we scarper.
So the question then is, where we dropped it at wet forest, that's not where it exploded. And I'm worried that if we leave the mold where Mickey is, Mickey's going to take the mold.
Yeah, good point.
Do you have the map?
Yes.
The parrot went southwest.
Yeah.
If that's important.
It'd be interesting to see if the parrot always goes to the charred glade. And it would be interesting to see if the parrot, leaves the cage no matter where we drop it.
I'm really wanting the parrot to go into the mine. We're not making any progress with the mine.
No, we're not. We're not.
Shall we try dropping the parrot in the charred glade and walking away?
Yeah. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Is it going to fly somewhere else, or is it going to stay there and blow up? Okay, let's try. I'm just going to restore. Oh, look, our score's gone to 40. So getting the parrot to leave the cage obviously is worth a lot. But I'm going to restore the game anyway. Okay, swim. Oops, swim. Smooth warp. Right then, southeast, southeast, east. Get cage and open it. Oh, that's interesting. The max points keep changing, Mike says. Okay, let's drop it. Oh, it's turns. It's not 10 points from 115. It's turns, isn't it? Well, that should actually show us then what is a turn and what isn't. Okay, we're at charred glade. I'm going to drop the cage. And then I'm going to go back and stand outside the smithy, I think. And just wait. Okay, outside smithy. Bang, something explodes in the distance. Let's go back to charred glade. Okay. There's a bird cage here and some feathers are strewn about, almost enough to make a duvet. So it did blow up. I opened the cage. I got the cage and opened it.
Okay, so if it's always going to come here to die, then we don't want the mold to be here.
No. So let's try dropping it somewhere else next time.
It still says there's a bird cage. I don't think it said there was a mole in it before.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Oh, you're right, Lucas. It says there's a bird cage here. And some feathers are strewn about. And the bird cage contains the mold. So the parrot did come out. It just blew up away from the cage. Okay. Mickey, I was going to say, Mickey's about to arrive. And sure enough, we get the mold. Mickey arrives looking worried. Snatches the mold from us. You shouldn't have this. Okay. So if the parrot always goes to charred glade, we need to make sure that we release the parrot somewhere away from that, so we can avoid Mickey.
I think it's just the dank forest that he goes through. I've just had a look at the map.
Yes, he comes this way. So you mean we could just open it in wet forest and then wait a couple of turns after the explosion for him to get out of the stump and to go down there before we go to the clearing? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, we're going to crack this.
I've got this terrible feeling that we're going to have to work out on each turn where Mickey is and where we need to be.
Well, every step of the game.
Yeah, every step of this puzzle.
Mm.
So we need to be able to get the gold disc and get back to the smithy without running into Mickey.
Correct. Yes, and we know that Mickey does go to the smithy. If you remember, he turned up there. But then he left again. And then he went crazy.
Well, that's because the bird exploded in the smithy because we hadn't let it out.
Ooh. Oh, very good. Yes.
We could spend a whole round just like following Mickey around.
After the explosion.
Yeah, because does it announce when he like leaves the scene that we're in?
Yeah. Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could do that. And then we can see what happens
Without
when he
picking up
goes.
the mold.
Yeah, we'll just forget our mission and just follow Mickey to understand his movements. Okay, get cage and open it. I'm just going to drop it here. Outside the smithy. I'm going to go northwest. Oh, look at this. I've just gone northwest after dropping the cage outside the smithy. And it says, the parrot flies into view, squawking and flapping, obviously wondering which way to go.
Ah.
Okay, let's wait and see which way the parrot goes. Time passes. The parrot flies off over the trees. Doesn't give us a direction. We probably don't want to be where the parrot is, though. So let's wait here at wet forest until it explodes. Oh my god. The parrot's back. It flies into view, squawking and flapping, obviously wondering which way to go. Please don't blow up here. You're supposed to go to Charred Glade. It flies off over the trees again. Do I risk waiting here again? Maybe I should go to where the cage is, because that's like the last place it will be. Okay. Bang, something explodes in the distance. So we could just nip to Charred Glade to check it's there, because Mickey won't be there yet. Oh, we want to follow Mickey anyway, don't we? So maybe let's go northwest. Clearing. Doesn't say anything about Mickey being here. South, dank forest. South, Charred Glade. Some feathers are strewn about. No Mickey. Let's just wait and see if he does turn up. Ah. Mickey arrives looking worried. So Mickey is now here in Charred Glade. Can we talk?
I was going to say that it didn't tell us Mickey was in the clearing until we inspected the stump, so he's probably still there when we were there.
Yeah, he probably was, and we were just a step ahead as he climbed out of the stump and went south. Okay. Okay, we can't do talk to Mickey. Ask Mickey about parrot. How about that? Micky Blowtorch says, there's something very fishy about a bird who goes round squawking pieces of 7, pieces of 9. It doesn't add up if you ask me. Mickey trudges off towards the wet forest. Let's follow him. So we can ask Mickey about things. So wet forest is northeast. Micky Blowtorch is here. Mickey looks deeply upset. Setting off towards the clearing, he starts muttering to himself, but you can't make any sense of what he's saying. He's gone towards clearing. That's northwest. Clearing. Micky Blowtorch is here. Something suspicious is going on, he says. The only person who'd interfere with the parrot would be someone after the mould. That means Sir Playfair has got someone else on the trail. And that means his words become indecipherable. Uh-oh. He's figuring it out. Should we just wait? He's going to kill us. Well, let's ask Mickey about mould. Micky Blowtorch says, there are more important things in life to consider. Did you know that there are 2 simple rules for happiness? 1, inherit a great deal of money. 2, don't spend it all at once. Okay. Not very forthcoming about the mould.
Can you ask him about the mine?
Yes. Ask Mickey about mine. Micky Blowtorch says, you think I'm mad, don't you? That's what they said at Mission HQ, but they're wrong. I suspect both of these responses are that there's no specific response for the items we're asking about. We could ask him about Panchaks. Micky Blowtorch says, what do you know about the boss? Whose side are you on anyway? Any other suggestions, or should we just wait until he kills us? Or should we get the disc while we're here?
Can't we say we're on Micky's side?
I'm not sure how to tell him that we're on his side. I tried to get the disc. Hiya! Shouts Micky, adopting a kung fu position. You have my disc, but not for long. In the time it takes to blink, he whips the disc from your grasp and flings it in the stump. He explains that 5 years abstinence from sex, tobacco and alcohol have given him the ability to move with supernatural speed and precision. You decide the techniques aren't worth cultivating.
We really need to get the disc then while he's checking out the explosion.
Yeah, I think that is what we have to do, isn't it? I think that's how it works. I think we need to let the parrot out, take the mold, wait until we're sure that he's investigating the explosion, go and grab the disc, open the mold, put the disc inside it. I think the mine might just be a red herring, possibly. What do we think? Should we give it a go?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give that a go.
Okay, I'm going to restore the game. Okay, can I remember the sequence of events? Southeast, southeast, east, get cage and open it. Let's see if the moves go up by 2 or 1. I'm giving it a double instruction here. Yeah, 13, 14. So that counts as 2 moves, get cage and open it, which makes sense. Okay, west, outside smithy, drop. No. I want to go northwest. I'm going to drop it at wet forest. And then I'm going to go north to dim forest. I'm going to wait. And I'm going to wait again. And again. Bang. I'm going to go south. I'm going to get mold. I'm going to go north. I'm not going to go straight northwest. I'm going to go north back to dim forest. And now I'm going to go west to clearing. And I'm going to go get disc. I have the disc. Okay. So I think last time Micky went to wet forest and then to clearing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to skirt round. I'm just going to go east, east, south, south. Okay. Does that make sense?
Would east, southeast, south not be quicker?
Okay. Yes. So east dim forest, southeast gloomy forest, south outside smithy. I'm in the smithy. Open cupboard and get all from cupboard. Got everything.
So we want to put the disc in the crucible.
And you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, and then
Use the tongs to hold the crucible.
yeah, we need to somehow not drop it.
Yeah.
I've never had a chance to look. Oh, did I look at the mold? I think I did, didn't I? Put disc in crucible. The gold disc is now inside the crucible.
Mike's saying save it.
Save it.
That's a fair point. CDO4. Okay. Right, wear gloves. Hold crucible with tongs. Melt gold disc. Do you think it's going to like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
With what? Okay.
Placing it on the fire.
Yeah.
Hold it over fire.
Yeah, hold crucible over fire. At first, nothing happens. Eventually, the gold disc crumples, then melts, leaving a puddle of molten gold in the crucible. Oh, yes. Pour gold into mould. The molten gold dribbles through the hole into the mould.
Break mold with hammer.
Wait. Do we need to cool it? Wasn't there a cold place?
We need to not run into Mickey, though.
Let's just see where it is. Cool Glade. Okay, well, we have it saved. I could save it here. Like overwrite our save game. And then we can try a few things. We can try just opening it. With a hammer, of course. Hit mold with hammer. You break the mold. Bad decision. The gold is still molten and splashes over you. Nice effect if you want golden skin. Otherwise it rates 0 on just about all counts. Molten gold is hot. Very hot. Sufficiently hot to vaporize your skin and melt all the way down to the bone. Fortunately, you go into a state of shock before the real gruesome stuff starts, slipping you out of the host-parasite interface like an expert. You reel and rock through the dimensions, screaming with pain until you hit a goldfish body with a wet slap. Castle. Yeah, so we need to cool it down. So, shall I go to Cool Glade?
I think that should only take 3 turns. We can smash it once we're there. We don't need to come back to the smithy.
No, we don't. So, west outside smithy. North. Oh my goodness. I've gone north from outside smithy, and it says the falling rain cools the mould too quickly. It cracks open and molten gold spills over you. Molten gold is hot, very hot, sufficiently hot to vaporize your skin, etc. Okay.
Ay, ay, ay.
Wow. Okay, so our route out of here is important. Let's have a look at our map. We're at just gone 8 o'clock, but do people want to just hang on for 5 minutes to see if we can work this out?
Yeah.
Where did that happen? Was that was that the wet forest?
That happened at Gloomy Forest. I was trying to go to Cool Glade, but we only got as far as Gloomy Forest. So maybe we need to go outside Smithy, Dark Forest, Dank Forest, Dim Forest, and then Cool Glade.
Yeah. So we need to avoid the places that said it was really raining.
That's right.
Is it raining in Dark Forest?
I mean, let's try. Let's just try a few things. I mean, maybe it was. So let's restore the game. Luckily, we have it saved at the good point, so we can just keep trying this. So, west to outside Smithy. Obviously, northwest will take us to Wet Forest, and that's got to be bad. So let's just try going west. Dark Forest is okay. Northwest, we haven't seen Mickey yet, which is miraculous. Northwest to Dank Forest. I'm going to try going northeast to Dim Forest. And now I'm going to go east to Cool Glade. Do you think I should hit it now?
We were wondering if the drizzle in Cool Glade might just be the right amount of wet to cool it down.
Yeah.
Do we need to do a wait turn?
Do you think? Can we...
We'll try just hitting it now and then wait next time if we need to.
Do you think we should hit it now?
Just in case it works. If it doesn't, we can come back.
Okay.
It feels like it will tell us.
Yeah.
It's cooled down.
Hit. What if it's cool enough? I can look at it. I mean, that's the same as a weight, basically. The mold is the sort that can be broken open after the molten metal you've poured into it has been cooled. So it's very specific about this, isn't it? It's giving us the hint. Anyway, let's hit it. Nope, same thing. It's still molten.
It doesn't say that it's glowing, does it? As in giving off light.
No, it doesn't say
You want
that.
to take it down the mine?
We could try.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems unlikely, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've just tried that, and it's the same message. You return to the glade. It's dark down there. Do you know what I'm wondering? I think we might need to go in a particular order. Like it said...
Like ramp up the coolness.
Like, yes.
Cool glade, dim, whatever it was, and then wet forest.
Cool glade, gloomy, and then wet.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah, nice. That's really
okay.
good.
We're in cool glade now, so do we go south and then east? Sorry, south and then west? Let's just bring the map back. So do we go gloomy forest and then wet forest?
Yes. So
we might need to go through and read all the descriptions again to see which ones are where it's raining. But gloomy, last time gloomy was too wet. But we've just been apart from clearing, which I don't really want to go back to because I think Micky's gone back there. We've been to all of the other locations. So it's gloomy and then wet.
Gloomy was just depressing. It wasn't necessarily the wettest. I think wet explicitly stated it was raining more there than anywhere
It did, yes. But last time the mould shattered when we went to gloomy.
I think that's just because it's not the first step.
I like your idea about going from cool glade.
From cool glade to gloomy.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Yeah.
No, the falling rain cools the mould too quickly.
Oh man.
Okay, I'm going to go back and just go through all these locations again. So this is before we've got the mould.
Can we cover the mould with feathers?
Do you think? Are you still trying to make a light?
I hadn't even thought of that. I was actually thinking just to keep the rain off it, or just to try and.
Oh, I see. Okay, so clearing, it stopped raining. Dim forest, there's no daylight, or rain. Cool glade, drizzle, gloomy forest, the constant rainfall here. So there's drizzle in cool glade, constant rainfall in gloomy forest. Wet forest, it's raining much harder.
I'm just writing notes.
And then dank forest, cold and damp. Horribly cold and damp. Maybe dank forest is the right place.
Just put it down there?
Yeah. Charred glade. And then dark forest. No mention of rain. Outside smithy. No mention of rain. Thick clouds drift slowly overhead. Dank forest is the coldest. Horribly cold and damp. Maybe we just go to dank forest and wait. Or put it on the ground and wait.
Yep.
Seeing as well, Mike suggested that the stump could fill up with water, but I don't think it rains in the clearing, does it?
No, it doesn't rain in the clearing.
No, we were trying to work that out, whether we could collect the rain in the crucible or something and pour it into the stump. I can't see how that would be less severe on the mold than the rain, though.
I mean, if I go north to the clearing, yeah, Mickey's there. He snatches the mould. Mickey snatches the mould from you. You shouldn't have this, he tells you. Not unless you've been interfering with that parrot. Oh, blast, shouts Mickey, surprised by the heat of the mould. A normal person would drop something that hot on the spot. Mickey, unfortunately for you both, isn't. He hurls the mould over his shoulder into the forest. Giving you a filthy look, he sits there, sucking his injured fingers.
We did also, when we were making the thing, we put the mold in the crucible and then held the crucible in the tongs. Could we have just held the mold in the tongs?
Oh, I'm just looking to see if the mold landed somewhere, but I don't think it did. I think he just threw it into the part of the forest we can't get into. Okay, yeah, we could try holding the mold with tongs.
You'd have to put the disc into the mold unmelted.
What do you mean? Why?
Well, doesn't Lucas mean that you should melt the metal in the mold over the fire directly rather than putting it in the crucible?
No, I think they're just talking about holding the hot mold with the tongs when we hit it with a hammer.
No, I mean when we're making the thing, we could, instead of holding it in the crucible, we could just hold the mold with the tongs so that we still have the crucible for future use.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, like what I said.
Oh, say. Okay, sorry. I didn't understand. I was reading. I think melting the disc in the crucible is correct.
We could at least try the other way.
Do we still have the crucible afterwards then?
No. We're carrying some tongs, a mould and a hammer, wearing jeans, herringbone overcoat and asbestos gloves. The fire is burning fiercely in the forge, and there's nothing in the smithy apart from a cupboard. So the crucible, I think, just gets destroyed. I do think we need to cool the mould down. I think that clue, when we look at the mould, saying it's the kind of mould that you can break open after it's been cooled.
We could fill the mold fill the crucible with water if we had it and put the mold in there.
Okay, well,
now,
I can.
Do we need to look for water now then?
What do you mean? Just take the crucible to wet forest and see if it fills up. I can try that.
The feathers get wet.
Okay, I'm going back to the smithy. I'm going to open the cupboard and get the crucible. And then I'm going to go back to wet forest. Fill crucible with water. It says that you can't see any water here.
Fill with rain.
It says the crucible can easily withstand the heat of the fire. I can drop it to see if it fills up. We can wait. Let's wait a few times. Mickey arrives looking worried. Okay, that's a new piece of text. Mickey's large but very distinguished proboscis sniffs the wind. Years of training are evident in the way the tip quivers and analyzes the various scents carried by the currents. That-a-way, he mutters and speeds off into the forest. Okay, that's Mickey looking for the source of the explosion. But in the meantime, yeah, the crucible has not filled with water from the rain. I'm sure the crucible is there to melt the gold. I think this puzzle is now about how to cool the mold.
I would agree.
Yes.
Perhaps that is a task for next time.
Yes, I think so too. It's now 8:15. All right, everybody. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's it for this episode.
Tune in next week to find out whether we ever do manage to cool down a mold without bloody incinerating ourselves.
All bets are off.
Bye.
Bye.